Good morning, committee members. Thank you for hearing this bill today. I'm Jackie Dingfelder. I'm State Senator for District 23. And again, I appreciate you also moving it up, since I do have judiciary at 8:30 and we'll have to sneak out to my committee hearing. So you have before you the Oregon Drug Takeback Bill. This is an important bill that can help in reducing prescription drug misuse. It could also assist in protecting Oregon's water quality. In short, Senate Bill 598 requires drug manufacturers that serve Oregon to institute a safe and convenient system for unwanted and unused drugs to be returned in an environmentally safe manner for disposal. This issue has been studied extensively by a broad stakeholder group. Many of the folks are here today that you'll hear from. This includes public health advocates, local governments, drinking water utilities, state agencies, pharmacists, environmental public interest groups, and drug manufacturers. The bill before you is the interest of that broad stakeholder engagement. So the main impetus for this bill is public health protection. Initially, I was interested in a drug take-back program as a tool to tackle water quality issues. But the more I learned about this subject, the more convinced I am that it is most importantly an issue related to public health. The strongest motivator for instituting a convenient and safe system for disposing of unwanted drugs is to protect Oregonians from avoidable poisonings and to prevent prescription drug abuse, especially among teens. As you will see in my written testimony, and hopefully you have a packet, data from the Oregon Public Health Division underscores this urgency. The rate of hospitalization for Oregon children from unintentional poisoning increased 60%. Much of this increase can be attributed to prescription medications. For Oregonians 15 to 54 years of age, self-inflicted poisoning is the leading cause of injury hospitalization. Surprisingly, and I was surprised to learn this surpasses the hospitalization rate for car accidents. Law enforcement agencies in communities such as Winston and Deschutes County are putting systems in place to collect unwanted drugs as an intervention tool to prevent drug abuse. We need to follow that lead and design a convenient system statewide for all Oregonians to safely dispose of their unwanted medicines. This bill also follows the product stewardship model that is similar to a bill that passed last session, the computer recycling bill, which passed unanimously in both the House and Senate. This product stewardship model addresses the issue of unwanted and unused drugs. Essentially, we're asking that the drug manufacturers put a safe and convenient system in place to properly dispose of unwanted medicines at their expense, no expense to the state or consumers. This is the same system that British Columbia has used for collecting unwanted drugs since 1996, and I will call attention to a handout in your packet that is double-sided, explains the British Columbia system, and in the back you will see a list of almost every pharmaceutical company that probably is very similar to the list of pharmaceutical companies in this country that are participating. This program that serves British Columbia is collecting about 52,000 pounds of unwanted drugs at a total cost of $280,000 US. Here in the U.S., Washington, Florida, Maine, and Minnesota are all considering the drug take-back legislation this year. Each state is proposing to use a product stewardship model, and in fact, the language in several of those bills is similar to the language in this bill. I am convinced that a product stewardship system is the best path for us to take when addressing the complex problems related to proper return and disposal of unwanted consumer products. It's a system that uses the power of the market and the business smarts of these manufacturers to make the program work. I do believe Oregonians want action, and that's why I brought the bill to this committee for consideration. In my written testimony, you will see the results of a Department of Environmental Quality survey of Oregonians' behaviors and perceptions about environmental and health risks. The one indicator from the survey I'll mention here is that 90% of respondents were willing to return their unwanted pharmaceuticals to a pharmacy, and 85% were willing to return them by mail. Oregonians recognize the need for a better way to dispose of unwanted medicines, and they're ready to participate in a drug take-back program. However, you'll hear that there are many reasons why a drug take-back program is not needed. First, you're going to hear that it doesn't decrease the amount of pharmaceuticals in our water, or that people can just throw unwanted drugs out with their household trash, or that education is the best way to decrease a patient's noncompliance with a drug regime. which will result in fewer unwanted drugs in a person's home. First and foremost, a drug take-back program is an important way to address misuse of prescription drugs. According to the annual survey conducted by the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University, teens say it is now easier for them to acquire prescription drugs than alcohol, and most teens get their prescription drugs straight from the medicine cabinet. Besides teens, older Oregonians also have important health concerns when it comes to prescription drugs. People over age 65 take an average of 11 different prescription drugs per year. The National Institute on Drug Abuse reports that older patients often self-diagnose and misunderstand the label warnings, which can result in overdosing, underdosing, or taking a prescription drug for a non-prescribed reason, or taking an expired medication. A drug take-back program will rid homes of unwanted and unused drugs and reduce the availability of prescription drugs for misuse and abuse. Second, while it is true that people can throw unwanted medications out with their household trash, this is not illegal now, here are the steps a person needs to go through. It's recommended by the American Pharmacists Association. First, remove and destroy all personal identifying information on the medication container. Second, crush medications or add water to dissolve them. Third, mix with kitty litter or coffee grounds. Fourth, place in a sealed plastic bag. And then fifth, put it in the trash. A drug take-back program would be much simpler and much less time-consuming than this disposal method, and much safer. Third, an education program should be part of any proper disposal program, but it shouldn't be the only part. I met with Pharma, and they have an education program called Smart Disposal, which instructs medication users to follow the prescriber's instructions and use all medications as instructed. If there are any unused medications at the end, a person can follow the steps listed before or check for approved state and local collection alternatives, such as community-based household hazardous waste collection programs, and take them there, which, of course, you probably know are not found consistently throughout the state. If a disposal method is too difficult, a consumer is simply not going to use it. A drug take-back program would be easier and much more convenient for consumers to use. Finally, you will hear from Pharma about the challenges in working with the Drug Enforcement Agency. They are in the process, DEA is in the process of developing rules right now to address this issue because so many states are interested in moving forward with a program such as this, and I'm sure you know that this is under the purview of the federal DEA. My own experience talking with Oregonians is that they are concerned about issues surrounding unwanted and unused drugs. They want a better method of disposal than flushing them down the toilet, which is what they've been told for years, or putting them out in the household trash where they'll end up in the landfill or possibly be picked out by other folks, which we certainly don't want. A drug take-back program is a safe, convenient, and environmentally sound alternative, and I hope Oregon will follow this model. So I appreciate your time this morning. I look forward to working with you on this important bill. You're going to hear from a lot of experts this morning who have been working on this issue for about a year and a half. I do just want to call attention to the -1 amendments, which was put in at my request, and that's to fix there was some wording missing about the funding, and this fiscal bill, or the fiscal on this bill, if this amendment is adopted, should be zero because the cost is paid by the manufacturer, so it'll be zero to the state. So I just wanted to clarify that. With that, I'd be happy to take any questions, but I want to make sure that you get to hear from the experts here today.